Hello guys, what's up? Today I'm going to make one of the most important part in Selenium called JavaScript Executor. And today I will make you master in how to use JavaScript Executor in Selenium. Because what I see whenever you have to work on JavaScript Executor, always what I see people tendency is they will start Google it. Okay, you don't need to Google it. It is very simple. Only the thing is till now you might not have got right channel, right person to teach you how to use a JavaScript executor. Okay, so before to start, this is brief about me. So if you like my Facebook page, you'll get all my notifications, and it's very good for you. You can ask me any questions on my Facebook page and subscribe my YouTube channel. So bookmark this YouTube channel. This is very important. Here you will get all my playlist, Core Java playlist, Selenium Framework playlist, Web Service playlist, Jenkins playlist, all playlist you will get to this YouTube channel, and this is my GitHub URL, right? So in the playlist, if you'll go, you have a filter actually, drop down. You can click on the drop down, and based on your requirement, you can study the topic, right? I always record HD, so you'll have very good picture quality. Now let me start with JavaScript Executor, and today I will teach you lot more things, important things. So this just I created one normal class, and I believe that this everybody knows that I made a reference of WebDriver. WebDriver is an interface, so we cannot make the object of interface, but yes, we can make the reference of that. In before class, if you look at, right, public void setup, that is my before class. I wrote if and else if. Why I wrote like this? What happens is when we work for the company, your OS, right? Your script should be independent of OS. It should not depend on the OS. Okay, it should be independent of OS, right? So if you write system.getProperty os.name, if it contains Mac OS, which means it is a Mac OS, so set the driver like this: system.getProperty WebDriver Firefox dot marionette system.getProperty user.dir slash driver slash jcode drivers. What does mean by this line? So this line basically will register your driver, jcode driver, because as we know that Selenium 3.0 onwards for Firefox we need to use jcode driver. Okay, and from Google you can download the jcode driver. Okay, and what I did, if you go to my project, in the Selenium project I created basically uh, one driver folder. So currently it is not available here. No, it is available here if you look at. Okay, so this folder is here, this driver folder is here, but currently I don't have drivers folder here. So what you guys can do is do a right click, go to the new, and create one folder here called drivers. Okay, so wherever you are working for any project, make sure that you have a driver folders. In the driver folders, keep your all jcode driver and chrome exe drivers. It is very helpful for you. Why it is helpful for you? Because uh, you can you can handle easily. Let's say if you are using any source code management tool, you can just commit the driver. If you'll keep in some other driver, C driver, D driver, E driver, your driver will be local to you. So when you run the script, it might fail. Now the question here is, uh, for Mac driver, you don't need to write .exe. Okay, for the Mac driver, because it's a executable jar. Okay, so in Mac driver you just need to write driver.jcode driver. But if it is a window driver, if it is a Windows OS, then you have to set like this. In window you have to write webdriver.jcode.driver system.getProperty user.dir. This will give you locations till your project, and then slash driver slash jcode drivers. Why I am writing like that? Let me print this so that you guys will understand what does mean by that. So let me run this code. When I run this code, what happens is, okay, just I wanted to run this much. If you look at automatically it will take my project locations. My project locations present inside my user git and selenium, right? So automatically it is taking my project locations. This system.get property user.dir, and why we should write is we should write because we don't want to hardcode the drive. So today I have project in my C drive, tomorrow I can keep in the D drive, day after tomorrow I can keep in the E drive. If I'll hard code, every time I have to come, I have to change here. But if I'll write like this, no matter which drive I keep, which system I keep, it will always get me the locations till the project, and then slash drivers slash jcode drivers, because you have to set like this slash drivers slash jcode drivers, right? Slash drivers dot slash jcode drivers. Now that's how we need to set the basically the drivers, right? For Mac and for Windows like this. Now I just made the object of Firefox driver and I'm doing the driver.get. So this is my site. Okay, this is my site. Let me copy this site. It's a demo site. So I navigated to this site. Now why we should use JavaScript executor? First of all, we need to understand JavaScript executor mainly is used for there are some buttons which is, though it looks enabled on the UI, but if you look at the HTML it will be disabled. Right now I don't have example for that, okay, but surely I'll try to figure out any other example. So when something is disabled we need to click on that. So this, it's not this kind of disabled, this is completely disabled, not this kind of disabled. Sometimes the button will look like enabled but it will be disabled. If you look at the HTML, the button will be disabled. So generally disabled buttons, disable text box where we can supply, see these two, if you look at, this is completely disabled. Okay, this is completely disabled. So not this kind of actually buttons, but the buttons which looks disabled on which we can click actually, or the text box which look disabled on which we can click. So let me do one thing, let me first show you how we can write a code through JavaScript executor. So as we know that JavaScript executor is used purely for JavaScript execution, because your driver will not have a capability to execute your JavaScripts. It cannot. So what you need to do is you need to cast your driver with the JavaScript executor. So let me write the code. I'll write exe is equal to, I'll write driver. Okay, driver. And what we need to do is we need to cast this driver into JavaScript executor. Right? Just write Java control space bar scripts. So if you look at here, you have something called JavaScript executor org.openqa.selenium. Select this one. There will be other JavaScript also. Do not select that. Select this one. Okay, org.openqa.selenium. Click on that. Now just place mouse over here. Click on create local variable. Your JavaScript will object will get created. Now exe dot, you have a method called execute a script. Can you see that here? This is a method called execute a script. This takes two argument. This takes two argument. So let's say I have to supply data here in text box. I have to supply data to this text box. So what we have to do here is we have to supply a data. How do I supply a data? You can just write here arguments. Remember this, arguments of 0, right? Dot value is equal to, let's say I want to supply test selenium. Okay, I want to supply this, but the problem here what happens is when we write like this is no more a string, so we have to convert this line into a string. So you just put one backslash here, not here, here, and also put one backslash here. Okay, so this line will get converted to a string because this should be single line of a string. Okay, this should be single line of a string. Then I want to supply the data here, so take this XPath. Okay, and you can just write here driver dot find element by dot XPath. Okay, you can write like this, right? And if you run this code, what happens is it will go and it will supply the data there. Let me close all other my browser. Let me run that, run as testng. So browser should launch, and if you look at here, see test selenium got supplied here. Test selenium got supplied here, which means through JavaScript executor I am able to supply the data. Now whenever you want to supply value, you have to write like this org.value and the value which you want to supply. Okay, what does mean by arguments of 0? So I am saying that in this wave element, whatever matches supply to the first argument, because there can be more than one match, right? There can be more than one match. So I'm saying that argument of 0, because we are so sure that there is only one element. Now let me, so this is about how to send keys we do, right? uh, Normal when we use driver dot find element by dot xpath dot send key we use, right? Same thing I'm able to achieve through JavaScript. Let me click on the browser. So what happens is when we click on the browser, one pop-up opens, right? So let me just click on that through JavaScript. I just would like to click on that. So this is my XPath. So what I'll do is I'll uh, I'll copy this full code and I'll just paste it here. And instead of hello, here I will write click. Click is a function in JavaScript. Just click, okay, because I need to click that and I need to click on this. So take this XPath and paste it here, right? Now let me run that. So it should supply the data here, as well as should click on this browser button. Let me run that this piece of code and we'll see that how it is working. Run as testng. So browser should launch. See, data got placed and it clicked because I can see that the pop-up has been opened, right? So I'm able to click also. I'm able to click also. This is how you can write JavaScript for the XPath, right? This is how you can write JavaScript for the XPath. Now I will teach you there are some different way also. Let's say you have form validation states, right? Let me inspect through FirePath. When we inspect through FirePath, what we can see here is we have id is equal to input success. So copy this id and let me write the JavaScript. How to write the JavaScript? Copy the id tag, go to the console, here write document dot get element by id. You can see that get element by id. Click on that. In this double quote, supply this id. Click on enter. When you click on enter, you can see that, see, this code is getting executed. This is JavaScript. How you should write like this. Then paste it here again. Dot I want to send a value. So value, okay, is equal to, let's say, test. Click on enter. So now this input with success is a blank. When I click on enter this, see, test is getting supplied. Now take this JavaScript from here. Take this JavaScript from here. Come back and we can just write here exe dot execute a script. Okay, we can just write execute a script, and instead of writing these two argument, what we can do is we can write this in the single line. Okay, and here we can just so As of now this is not a string, so this we have to convert to the string. So as I said, we need to place one slash backslash, one here, backslash, backslash, right? So right, yeah, so this has been converted to a single string, right? This has been converted. So to convert to the single string, always first write a slash before double quote, then write a slash. So write a slash before, and here also if you look at, it's a before, again here before, and here before, all double, right? It will get converted to a string. Let me run this piece of code and let's see if this works or not. So browser is launching. Yeah, so browser is launched, this pop-up got opened, and you can see that test value is getting supplied here, right? We can see that. Now let me run this input with warning. So let me take this id. Again I can write here, so just change the id here, and here you just write test. Okay, copy from here, control z, copy from here. Let's hit enter button. See, you can see that this test is getting supplied here, so this javascript is working. So what we can do is, we can just write exe dot execute a script and remove two argument, because here we are completely writing javascript. Again put here slash, here also put a slash, 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 and enter. So this javascript will work, right? Now let me try to search something with a class name. So let me let me check some unique element which has a proper class, because this class form control I cannot use. So I'm trying to figure out any input data which has form control. I cannot. This I cannot. This I cannot. So here actually I don't have any. Let me go to the tables if I have any. Everything is a form control. This search also. Everything is a form control, right? So if you look at this class, first of all, I think I will not be able to use this class. Let me Okay, let me write a code, JavaScript code for that. So just write document dot. So these are the tag you can use, guys. By ID, by class name, by tag name, by tag ns, get items and get selections. So especially you can go for by ID, by class name, by name if you don't want to use XPath. My suggestion is, for JavaScript always use XPath. It's very easy. So I'll use by class name, and I'll supply the class name here. And what I'll do, I'll write dot. So document get element by class name, and dot. So I cannot see here dot value. Okay, so let me run only this much, so I can see that one HTML collection is coming, but it is not searching for that. So let me use some other attribute. So let me use, so there is no ID here, proper ID. There is no class here, proper class. Which one is this? Okay, so let me use this class name. This looks very proper for this header. So let me write the class name here. Hit enter. Yeah, so it is getting highlighted, right? So through class name also, through class name also you can use like this, right? This how you can use a class name in JavaScript, right? So I'm just giving you tips like how you can write a JavaScript. So you can use dot class name dot value. Let's say you want to click on that, right? You want to click on that, instead of value just write here, click function. Because generally in Selenium we do only two things, either we click or we send keys. So for send keys use dot value, okay? For click use click. So this is another way of writing complete JavaScript. This is through XPath you can handle, which is very easy. This is through complete through JavaScript, right? That's how you guys can handle any JavaScript, and I believe after that it is going to be very easy for you. Now let me see for this drop down. So here you have the name, right? So I can use the name tag also. Let me take this and I can go here and I can just write document dot not get element by class name. I'll write here get element by let's say get element by name. Click on that. Sorry, get element by name, and here I can write in the double quote this. Okay, hit enter. So you will get a node list, right? But I'm getting that empty node list. So let me click on this table, and now let me try again the same piece of code. Hit enter, right? So here you can see that your this selection box is getting highlighted, which means exactly you are able to uh, click on that. Now let me take this location from here, and here what I will do is after this again I will do driver dot get. I'll get the URL, so I'll go to that page, and there I will execute this script. So I will copy this JavaScript, okay, and I would like to click on that, so I'll write exe dot execute a script, okay. I'll remove both the argument because I'm going to use JavaScript. In double quote I can write like this, and let me convert this to a single string, okay, and here I can write dot click function of JavaScript. So this guy should click, this guy should click on that. So let me run. Okay, so since this is opened, we were not able to navigate. So what I will do, I will not call this. So I will not call this method, so it will, the pop-up will not open. Okay, okay, so here what we are able to see is it is not clicking here. Okay, it is not clicking here. It says that uh, click is not a function, right? It is saying that click is not a function. Here if you look at, click is not a functions. I don't know why it is saying that. It should not say that, because just now this click was working. So no problem, there are, I'll try. Sometimes you need to write this colon also. So let me try with the colon. If this will not work, then we will try with some other approach. So let me run this again. So again it did not click on that. If you look at, it did not click on that. So that way it is not working, and is saying that get element by name dot click is not a functions. So let me test here itself. Dot, okay, so when you do get element by name, you have only two options, either items or dot length. Okay, dot item you have, or you have dot length. And when you do something called So let me copy this name. So when, let's say, you are not using get elements, you are using get element. Okay, okay, got it. So again, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Sorry, not here. Click outside. Not here. So if you look at here, it says that get elements, right? Look at the word called s, get elements, which means I think we have to write here of 0 dot, yeah, then click will come. Okay, of 0. Why of 0? Because you have word called get elements here. If you look at, right, so more than one element. So now if you click, uh, so click method is not returning anything. Now let me try with the code. Okay, so let me write here of 0, or do one thing here, only we can test that. So let me try with 1, and it says that 1 is undefined. No problem, let me run through this. So again, it did not click on this. Ideally this would click on that. Okay, so though it is pass here, if you look at, it is passing. Okay, it is not failing, which means it is clicking internally. Okay, which means it is clicking internally. But the problem is when it clicks, so when it clicks, this should, my expectation is this should open. So let me do one thing. This is the name. So let me take this again, come back, and so this was by name, not this one. Yeah, by name. Get elements by name dot length of 0 dot, you have something called click and click list. So let me try that click list. Hit enter. Sorry, it was not, it's a class list. It's not a click. Class name, click, click height, click left, click top, click width, contents. Okay, so I think only click should work. Actually the click is happening, but what I can see that is, this is not loading, the page is not coming up. Let me look at the HTML structure. Let me try through XPath. Okay, let me try through XPath, because if one approach will not work, we should not stick with that. Let me comment that anyways we came to know when we have get elements, so we have to use a square bracket 0. Here it was get element, only one element, so there is nothing called square bracket of 0 1 2 3, right? Now let me try this another approach. Here let me first, I'll write this side, driver dot find element by dot XPath, and let me write XPath, and here we can write this function. Here I can write. Okay, now let me run this piece of code. Oh, so even the XPath is not clicking here, right? Or after get, let me put some thread dot sleep. Just intentionally I am putting for 5 seconds just to make sure that page should be properly load, or I can use implicit wait also I can use here, but I'm just doing thread sleep. I just wanted to check that what is happening on the runtime. Okay, so it is not clicking, right? It is not clicking. So let me do one thing. Instead of taking this path, let me take select slash option, or let me, yeah, this ideally it should click. If you look at the HTML, is anything else which is not allowing me to click? Let me open my Selenium ID. I can take help of ID, and I will take help of this. No, it's not recorded. Oh, okay. Why ID is not recording? Oh, surprise. ID is also actually not able to record. Okay, I performed two actions. Yeah. So same thing. Here it is doing that. So instead of select, let me write here click and double click. So if you look at here, uh, though we are able to click, but it's not opening at all. See, it is not opening at all, right? It is not opening here because this is not a button. You cannot click. It's just a select box. Okay, it's just a select box. Let me try with some other XPath also. No, it will not click. Okay, it will not click. But when you say select, it will work. So select of, let's say, 25. Yeah, 25 is getting selected, right? It's a select. So I'm not sure when it is a select how we should approach through JavaScript. Okay, let me check that. Like, is there any option called select, selected index, selected options, select attributes, uh, selected index, selected options? Okay, so we can only get that, but how to supply, how to supply? So let's say, when, let's say I want to select some value, so let's say if I write value is equal to 50, will this work? So now here it is 25. Let me hit enter. Wow, it is working. So we are able to select, so we don't have to click, we are able to select the value. So you can use like this. Okay, you can use like this. So also we need to understand sometimes what is the requirement for the script. Every functionality will not work on the same code. So exe dot execute a script. In this rm is we want to select 50. So in double quote we can write like this, convert to a string, convert to a string, and put it here. Right now 50 should get selected. So let me run that piece of code. Yeah, no, only 10 is selected here, 50 is not selected here. Okay, okay, I didn't see that. Yeah, 50 got selected because I have given a pause of 5 seconds here, 5 seconds, and if you look at here 50 is getting selected, right? So guys, this code is working, and I'm hoping that you will be able to write any kind of now JavaScript. I have shown both the ways, through XPath and through direct Java coding, right? So thank you guys, thank you for watching this. Please subscribe my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Thank you once again.